Give me your Super Bowl prediction.
Skip, you know, I could have taken chalk. I know that's
you
what you
usually
do.
do.
I know, you chalk.
Please,
teacher.
I never take.
You're like a fourth grade teacher. That's all you got up on your desk.
Rock
is chalk.
Shayhawk. That's all you ever do.
No.
Yeah, you
well,
are.
I ain't got chalk this time around because I'm going way out there. You didn't see this one coming, Skip.
Oh.
Yeah, this ain't coming from left field. This thing coming from Mars. I got to go with my old teammate as a head coach in the very division that I spent 12 years.
I know who that is. We're nearby.
Yeah, we're very nearby.
Yeah.
Skip, I'm going to take the Chargers.
Woof.
I just believe that this is the year that they finally put it all together.
Okay, I'll give you from Mars. From that.
Phillip Rivers has been as consistent as any quarterback in the National Football League. The only thing that's hurting him is that Drew Brees left because that's who he took over for and went to New Orleans, and he's played out of his mind since he's been down there. But Phillip Rivers is over 50,000 yards, over 300 touchdowns, and has been very good. And he's healthy. Count on him every single week. And you look at Melvin Gordon, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Mike Williams, last year's number one overall draft, not overall, but number one draft pick, is finally healthy.
He is.
And their defense, with Joey Bosa and Ingram and your guy from Vanderbilt.
Thank you. I thought you weren't even going to bring him up. Casey Hayward, Vanderbilt University.
Corey Leach.
Best cornerback in football. Go ahead.
One of them. Corey Leach gets back after 4 games for the PED violations.
A lot of
I
stuff.
like the Chargers coming out of the AFC. Now, the NFC was really, really hard for me because, like I said, I believe there are like 6 or 7 teams that could actually represent the NFC. But I got a team coming out of the NFC South that's going to represent the NFC. I'm going with the New Orleans Saints. I just like what they were able to do last year, and I believe that it took the Minnesota Miracle to keep them from advancing to the NFC title game. Drew Brees will be Drew Brees. That running game. Now, Mark Ingram, another one, 4 games, PED. They signed Gillisley.
They did.
After being released from New England. And Alvin Kamara is special. He's special. They can throw it to him. They can hand it to him. Michael Thomas, he's coming. I like them. So I'm going to say it's going to be New Orleans and San Diego. And I'm going to take the Saints over the Chargers in Super Bowl 53.
I think they're called the L.A. Chargers. But that's okay. I'll give you that.
You're still holding on.
I'm going to preface my prediction by saying, throughout the offseason, as you know all too well, my momentum built to pick my Dallas Cowboys to make it to the Super Bowl. And then some things started going wrong. And I was hinging my pick on Jerry Jones' ability to land one Earl Thomas. And I'm not writing it off. We're going to talk about it here in just a few minutes on the show.
Okay.
But I'll still hinge on that. If you told me that tomorrow Earl Thomas was a Cowboy, or even by Saturday he was a Cowboy, I would plunge on this.
What about at the trade deadline?
Well, that's 8 games in, right? So I don't love that. It's too many games. I need him now because I don't need Jeff Heath and Kayvon Frazier at safety. They are unsafe at safety, and I can't go that far, especially in an absolutely mind-bogglingly loaded NFC, because the NFC is hard to pick, and I dare somebody to try to pick a team to win the NFC because it just blows your brain out.
It is. They're loaded.
You get a headache trying to sift through all of it.
There's 7, 8 teams that can legitimately, Skip, represent the NFC.
And I believe Dallas is one of them. I've told you from the start, I got this weird good feeling about this team. But obviously, if you take Travis Frederick out for X games, and I don't know how many X games are, so I can't, I have to hinge, and so I can't plunge on this one. Now, back to these picks. I want to remind everyone, you and I do not confer before the show about anything. I have no earthly idea where you're going to go on anything on this show, especially with your picks.
Nope.
And you can be a pretty loose cannon on your opinions, too. So I have no idea. Half the time, I'm just stunned over here on live TV like, you just said that?
Yeah.
You just went there? Okay, so once again, I was stunned for the wrong reason with your pick because I agree with your New Orleans pick.
Wow.
And I thought I was at least out of right field, maybe not left field, but again, New Orleans is in the odds makers' 4th choice to win the NFC. But I really like New Orleans. Now, I'll tell you this. My heart would love to see Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
I almost went with Green Bay.
Okay, well, I tried to talk myself into it, and I'm just not sure about their defense. And obviously, you keep throwing back at me, well, Aaron has to carry the whole show. Well, I'm not sure about the running game or the defense. They got 4 kids in the secondary I really like, but they're still kids.
Right.
They're first and second year kids. Is that good enough? I don't like their linebackers. I'm not completely convinced about the offensive line. I like the receiving core. I like Jimmy Graham. I like all that. I like Mike Patton running the defense. He's good. That'll give him a new jolt.
Yeah.
I like the new GM. I think there's a new energy there. Aaron got his money, but I don't think they're good enough in this conference to survive this conference.
Right.
I don't think they're good enough to survive their division because I still think Minnesota is just – I'm not a Kirk Cousins fan, but they are so loaded.
At every other position.
Okay, at every other position. You certainly know that.
Is that too obvious? I just go, oh, that was so obvious. I got to keep it together.
Do I trust Kirk Cousins in the postseason? I do not. Are they going to get to the postseason? I'm pretty sure they will. But even in that division, Chicago is better, obviously, with Khalil Mack. And you know what? Detroit – with Coach Pencil, they're pretty good. They're going to win 8 games. I'll bet you Matthew Stafford figures a way to win 8 games. So could that take a bite out of Green Bay? It could.
Sure.
Are they going to upset them once? So my heart says, boy, would I love to see your guy Aaron Rodgers against my guy Tom Brady. Would the NFL love that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, my goodness, would they?
But the second best for me would be Drew Brees versus Tom Brady. So back to the Saints. And you made the case, and I'll make it even stronger. This is the most solid team, top to bottom, in the NFC. Top to bottom, most solid team, because Drew Brees didn't have just a good year last year. I thought he had a spectacular year.
Every year.
Well, but last year he set the all-time percentage of completions record. 72%. He had his best touchdowns to interception ratio of his whole career, 23-8. It wasn't high touchdowns, so he wasn't a fantasy darling.
Because they ran the ball so effectively, and Kamara and Ingram was scoring down there.
They were 5th in the league in running the football. And Drew Brees said on our show at the Super Bowl in Houston, we got to balance up. Well, they balanced up. And then they managed to draft the defensive rookie of the year at corner, and the other kid who made all-rookie team at safety, Marcus Williams, made the one blunder that cost them the one miracle in Minneapolis game. And yet, I still believe that Drew Brees and company would have given Philly a much better game at Philly than the Vikings did with Case Keenum. Right?
I agree.
Okay, so now New Orleans comes into this year with the biggest chip on its shoulder pads in the NFC because they got something to get even for, right? And they do get to go back to Minnesota. No, they go to Minnesota.
Yeah.
So this is just me. I trust Drew Brees in the postseason over Aaron Rodgers. And I know you disagree with that, but I just do. I think Drew Brees has been really good in the postseason. So this time I'm going to trust him. So I'm going to agree with you on that pick.
Okay.
Which brings us to the other side of the equation. And I thought last year you had learned your lesson. And you did. It was the classic, if you can't beat him, join him. So you joined Tom Brady. You came over to this side of the table 1 year ago today, and you picked New England. And you were correct, sir.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you didn't learn your lesson.
I did.
Because you just couldn't stand it. So you had to try to talk yourself out of Tom Brady and into the Chargers.
Yep.
I will remind you, 1 year ago, I had one dark horse pick out of the AFC West to just be a wild card team. Do you remember? No, I picked him to win the AFC West.
You picked him to win it.
The L.A. Chargers.
Yep.
And now I can't get on that bandwagon to drive it all the way to the Super Bowl, but I don't completely discount your pick because that team, you made all the case, they are loaded.
They are.
But Phillip Rivers in the postseason, man, he's been shaky. He's the best quarterback to have no real playoff resume, right?
Yeah.
And boy, could he use what you're talking about?
Yeah. I'm telling you, Skip, they're going to be the deal with.
Really?
But go ahead and make your case for chalk. I knew you had chalk over there. I see your hands. They all white.
It's not chalk.
Yeah, it is.
It's just the truth. It's not chalk. It's truth. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback ever. And he's playing at an even higher level now than he did 5 or 6 years ago. How can you bet against that? That's not smart.
It is.
No, it's not smart.
Because the reason I'm going to play the odds. The odds is there's only one team that's ever gone to 3 straight Super Bowls. That's the Buffalo Bills.
Well, there's only one Tom Brady.
Well, I'm just saying, Skip.
Okay.
You say I'm playing the odds.
You're spitting into the wind. That's what you're doing.
And then this thing, he's a guy. I mean, he doesn't come all the time, but he comes when guys and when athletes start to get a certain age, Jenny, name Father Time. And sometimes you don't even have to call him. He'll just show up unannounced. Out of nowhere, when you least expect it. He's like a solicitor. You sitting down to have a good meal, and they ring the doorbell trying to sell you something. No, I can order it off Amazon if I needed that. So get away from my house. Father Time coming, Skip Bayless. I don't care how many documentaries he released, Tom versus
By the way,
Time.
we're going to talk about the latest Tom versus Time, the epilogue, because he says in the epilogue, in effect, I'm just going to play until I'm 45. Well, he's 41, so that's 4 more years.
He ain't not.
So
Not.
You're going to be haunted. You're going to have a 4-year nightmare.
Nah.
So let's start with the fact that the New England Patriots play the easiest schedule in the NFL.
Yep.
That's by some rankings.
Ain't no about some it is. They play the Jets. They
some
got
say
Minnesota.
others.
Not Minnesota. Miami in that division.
Okay.
Buffalo.
So that should mean that Tom Brady is going to have a couple of home playoff games, right?
Probably all of them at home.
Okay. Tom Brady, as we speak, is 19-3 in the postseason at home. 19-3. The Ravens got him twice, and Rex Ryan got him once. That's all he's lost.
Yep.
19-3. And you're willing to say that Phillip Rivers is going to go to Foxborough and beat him? Because that's what you just picked.
He might have to go. He might have to go there. Phillip Rivers might be so good they might have home field throughout.
How?
Easy. They
with
good.
them playing this schedule?
Yeah, don't worry about
Well,
that.
they're going to have a horrendous year. And by the way, the defense, it got a little better. Dante Hightower is back.
Yeah.
They couldn't stop the run. They were 20th against the run last year. It'll get better because that Danny Shelton that they traded for from the Browns, he gives them an anchor that they haven't had. And Adrian Claiborne, boy, he wreaked havoc on Dak Prescott last year, and they signed him.
That was
And
one game.
In the postseason, in the preseason, he looked like he was bringing it, man.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I'm saying, you know what? This defense could be a little better than last year. And the offense, would you believe the offensive line is now the lowest paid offensive line in all of football? And it doesn't matter.
What they do with all that money, though? Because they're really not playing anybody any money.
So Tom Brady takes a hometown discount, and the line is the lowest paid. I don't know where it goes. Maybe Belichick just pockets it, for all I know. Maybe it's a good way to get rich quick.
Maybe they're paying Tom on the side.
Maybe they're not.
I
think you better not try that. You're busted. So, in the end, no Edelman, no Amendola, no Brandon Cooks, no problem. It's Tom Brady. I'm not betting against this guy. I'm sorry, he's going to be back in yet another Super Bowl, and this time I believe he gets his revenge, not on Philadelphia, but I believe it'll be on Drew Brees, and that's a pretty good matchup. Yeah, that's it. Over. Yeah.
Michael Jordan, chalk.
Chalk?
You.
No, smart.
No, chalk.
Not smart.
Watch.
Huh?
Have
You
him
really
right. Have
believe
him right. Yeah.
Okay, can I have at least one case of
No,
dew?
no,
See,
no,
that's how little
no.
Why not? I thought we were
conviction.
going to do right. No, not yet. No do.
Hold on.
Have some conviction.
You want to?
I got Tom Brady. You can have Phillip Rivers.
No, you want to hinge about I want to take the Cowboys, but
Well, I wanted to.
Well, go ahead and take them.
Okay, give me Earl Thomas tomorrow, and it's done.
No.
It's done.
No.
I got him. I still like him a lot.
Well, okay, well, give the Chargers Tom Brady. Or give, come on. No. As is, we got to pick as is. If that's the case, one injury is going to blow up everybody's pick.
That's true. And they will get blown up. You just watch.
Not mine. My guys stay healthy.
I got Tom Brady to win it all, and I feel real good about that. Want to bet just one case? How about just one dew? How about a single bottle of Diet Dew on that?
I can see the
you don't even have
now.
that much conviction.
Breeze blows over the rivers.
Wow.
Really? That's deep.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's
Drew Brees wins the Super Bowl.
lyrical.